This was such a special moment, and I can't wait to get him out again. Although I don't think his missus likes the fact that he goes out and kills animals with me, but that's okay. We eat every one of them. We shot this deer. He said, "Light out." He goes, you know how good wild game is? I'm like, yeah. That's all I eat. He's like, no, man, it's like really good. You ever had elk? I'm like, oh, yeah. Just butchered one the other day. He's like, oh, no kidding? He goes, I want to go hunt with you. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, hey, man, but you got to come out and take some shots. We got to get your hunter safety course and all this stuff. He's like, no, I want to watch you kill him. That's really not you hunting, but all right. So I got this tag. We go out. I shoot this deer, and my dog goes to track it, right? Because that's what he does. My dog can't find it. And Gronk is wearing like Zubas and tennis shoes. And we have to go into like the thick, gnarly, nasty thorns, everything. So my dog finally gets on this deer, and we're trying to keep up with it. Gronk's like caught in a briar patch. And he's like, is there ticks? I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of ticks, man. I'm like, you better check yourself, like legit. And so we finally get up on this hill, and my dog stopped barking.
There's lots of ticks. They got Lyme disease, isn't it?
A lot of ticks.
Or Crohn's?
I've had it. I do have Crohn's, yeah. Bill noted that in front of the world. That was nice. I got one for him. But we finally catch up to my dog.
Shut the fuck up. What'd he say?
Exactly. First of all, he is lucky I didn't have the mic, because I would have had a field day with his ass.
Got one right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. So my dog, we get to this deer, and Gronk and I witness my dog jump on the back of this buck and ride him down the hill, and they're fighting. And he's like, we got to save your dog. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere near that. I'm like, you can go in there and save my dog all you want. and it was classic.
Did he go in?
He did, and then he actually helped gut it and the whole nine, and I gave him a whole bunch of steaks off it, and he got to eat his wild game, man. Good man. You're gonna come hunt with me at some point.
We went pheasant hunting.
Yeah, but that's not real. That's kind of like
we did pheasant hunting on that property, and then the guy cooked a pheasant pizza or something with the pheasant. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
some good stuff.
It is good.
You take anyone else hunting?
Just let's see. Saturday before we flew out here to LA, we met up with Brew and his son. That was awesome. Yeah, had a great hunt, man. Turkey season.
Now, I think I remember. Didn't you like post up on the Patriot property and take some fucking deers down or something? Or was it a turkey?
I pulled up and I hunted that property forever because Mr. Kraft was like, I mean, look, he's like, I don't know anything about what you're doing. I'm like, all right, cool. It was like the green light, right? So I would hunt right behind the stadium where that Lawton's farm, close to that, right?
Yeah.
And they're great people. I went in one morning, and this is awesome. This goes
before
right back
practice.
to Bill. This is before, and this is in the off season. And I go to set up, and one of the security guys comes over. You know, like the guy with like the weird lazy eye.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey man, you can't be here. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, no, I'm gonna park right over here. I'm gonna go in here and kill this bird. I roosted him last night. Like I know where he's at. And by the way, it's 3 a.m. It's dark. You know what I mean? So, and I got my backpack, I got my bow and everything ready to rock. And he's like, no, Briggs said you can't be here. Now this is like, and this is the off season right after that little kerfuffle. So I'm like, hey, listen, because you know Briggs lives like right around the corner.
He lived right on the property.
Yes. I said, if Briggs doesn't want me here, go wake his ass up and tell him to come out here because you're not stopping me and I'm walking right there. So I get my stuff and he's like kind of mumbling and I walk right in. I set my tent up. I wait for it to get light. Bird gobbles, flies down, sits right next to my decoy. I shoot him. I breast him out. I take him in. I always put him in the fridge there in the meal room. And actually, sometimes the chefs there would cook up some stuff for me. It was awesome. But anyway, as I'm eating breakfast, Bill walks in, and he's like, "I mean, look, what are we doing? You can't have a fucking weapon on stadium property." And I go, "What?" I go, "Hey, Bill, the reason you're hearing about this is because, you know, Briggs is a dickhead." I'm like, I've hunted this thing forever. He's like, I don't give a damn what you've done. You can't have a weapon on stadium property. I go, Bill, it says you can't have a handgun. You can't have a gun on. I go, I didn't shoot a gun. I had a bow and arrow. He goes, this is awesome. He goes, you want to argue with me about what the rules say? I mean, the guy's pretty good at knowing what the rules are. I'm not going to lie to you. And when he said that, I started second guessing myself. I'm like, oh, damn, maybe it did say weapon. And so now the only thing I can pivot to, I'm like, I go, okay, Bill. So I check Jack Johnson and Tom O'Leary at the door too. I go, these are deadly. That's my only thing I had, right? And I remember the other guys that were in the meal room, like the younger guys, they're looking at me like, damn, dude, like that's your head coach. You probably shouldn't be saying that. And Bill's like, hey, look, I don't want to hear about it. Don't bring anything on here ever again. And he walked away. And I'm like, oh man, that may not have been a great idea, but yeah, I did. I had a little hunt that morning, and that may have been the last time I did that.
How did you stay on the Pats for 11 years?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Did you ever see the video right before one of the Super Bowls, or were you there when I did the Harry Carey?
Yeah, I saw the video. I remember. Didn't you do like a video around where he was like massaging you or something? Or
yeah, I thank Vrabel for the happy ending. And by the way, I did that, shot that. Because you know how the defense with all their little perks. You remember how they would show a funny video the night before the game, and they would have something, and they would all be cutting up, laughing over there while we're getting dog cussed. You guys suck, and they're like, ah, having a great time. So Bill came up to me, or it may have been Matty P, one of the defensive coaches, and was like, "Hey man, we want you to do this video. Will you do a video for us?" And I used to always do Harry Carey, right?
I remember.
So
give us a Harry Carey real quick.
Hi. Mike Vrabel, you're a good man. You're a good man. I love you, Vrabel, with your milky hands. You're so soft and sensual. Anyway, if the moon were made of spare cheese. So we would do that and have fun, right? And I did that video, and I remember there's a security guard.
Was it Castle in on this?
He may have been. I was on a treadmill for a while,
yes,
half naked. And I don't even know why. Like, it was just stupid stuff. And I remember I had to get glasses. So there was a security guard that had these big Coke bottle glasses. And this is like right before the Super Bowl. And like, I'm trying to like be serious. You know, like I did take the game serious. But they're like, yeah, you got to do this video. So I'm like, oh, God. So the video crews videoing. I remember the guy had to sit in a chair and couldn't move because he couldn't see like his, like right here. So this poor security guard is just sitting there forever while I'm wearing his Coke bottle glasses doing some stupid Harry Carey bit. And I remember, thank God we won that Super Bowl, because I remember Mr. Kraft apparently got a hold of it and played it for all the people on his private jet on the way home. Because I met some of them. They're like, hey, we watched this awesome video of you on the way back from the Super Bowl. And I was like, what the? Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's why they kept me. It wasn't my stellar play. I can tell you that much.
You didn't get cut? You got cut?
No. I'm just saying.
That's
like,
why they what?
I think that's why I made it as long as I did.
Oh.
Bill was like, oh, well, he's going to do something stupid. Yeah. You know.
Fucking Bill. Take us back to Ohio. What was the young man like?
I wanted to be a game warden until I found out that they don't get paid very much money. You know what's crazy, man? Grew up in a small little town, home of Annie Oakley. Yeah. Little Miss Sure Shot. You know anything about her?
No.
Wow, Bill Hickok? Like no.
I went to Kent State. I don't know anything about Ohio.
She was like Little Miss Sure Shot. She had to feed her family.
Absolutely not, Matt.
Oh man, wow, this is terrible. Okay, so anyway, so you're not going to probably go to the Annie Oakley Museum or Garst Museum. That's not a big deal. Small little town, big farming community. I'd never seen a game until I played in one, right? So I didn't know Purdue was in the Big Ten. I'd never seen a college game. My dad, severe polio growing up, right? We didn't do sports. We were into the outdoors, you know, pre-1800 encampments, running around, doing crazy stuff, hawk and knife competition, hunting, fishing.
Did you watch that ESPN stuff, like where they would do like the axing and they
loved it?
Yeah, no,
it was the best, man.
I used to watch it.
You ever watch? You guys know who Marty Stauffer is? You ever heard that name?
No.
Well, I'm Marty Stauffer. Welcome to our wild America. That's like my favorite show growing up, dude. He like take you out and show you neat things. Like, here's a pine marten. They're really clever, and he like film them. I mean, it was awesome, dude. It's almost like Bob Ross meets, you know, like
David Attenborough.
Yeah, there we go. Without the British accent. David Attenborough is a badass. So Sir, by the way, Sir David Attenborough. So anyway, that was my world, man. Growing up, small little town. I had no idea you could get a scholarship.
You didn't play high school. You played high school football.
Oh yeah, man. I played. Well, my mom did not want me around, so like I played Pee Wee. I was in football all my life, but and terrible, really terrible. I was a tight end. I went to Purdue as a tight end for some unknown reason. I never did anything athletic ever. I was never a tight end in high school.
You keep on saying that, bro. You're like an undersized tackle. You have to be athletic.
Well, no, I have decent short space quickness, I think is what they said.